Welcome in here. Tonight I'm joined by Coach Hurst for the first ever girls basketball show here. We're starting the Coach Hurst Show. Coach, nothing like making history on a Wednesday night in November.
Yes, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited that our team and that I get an opportunity to kind of showcase what we've got coming for us this year.
We're excited to showcase the games again this year. I know we had a lot of fun here. We did those 8 home girls games, and we're looking forward to doing those 8 again, and as well maybe adding some home non-conference too. So we're looking forward to it. Without further ado, I guess we'll jump right in. So after that last loss last year that kind of knocked you guys out, that's right when that off season began and kind of that grind starts. How is the group that didn't graduate? I know you graduated a few seniors. The group that didn't graduate, how have they been so far this off season and working towards kind of getting over that next hump?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a group of athletes, so we definitely had some girls that wanted to get right back in the gym right away, but then we also had some girls that went on and got some state track titles, helped our softball team kind of get to the end of their season there, which with a good run there in the postseason for them. So we didn't have everybody right away in the spring, but the ones that were there definitely wanted to compete. And then definitely by the time school was out and we started in the summer, everybody was hungry and ready to go. We started putting in some new plays, offense, defense, all the things, but you could tell that there was a different fight with this group, that they wanted to definitely get back to where we ended the year, but also add in so much more that can get us to where we want to be this year.
So you hinted at kind of that new offense, the new defense, kind of what I'm going to talk about later. But are we going to see kind of a new style girls Redbird team this year? Is going to be a lot more the same?
I would say same style of still wanting to get the ball out to the three-point line, have those three-point opportunities, but also trying to stay away from having just one main ball handler, kind of allow our guards to shift back and forth and attack the lane at different times, and also kind of getting the ball into our post player, Bailey Nina. Getting her some solid touches there too is going to be really solid for us for offensively.
She had a great season last year, kind of a breakout season as a freshman. I mean, she's probably on pace. I don't know exactly the stats, but she's probably got to be on pace for that 1,000-point score.
Yes, and I think block-wise, I think rebound-wise, she definitely is going to be able to make some history here for us. I think she's a really dynamic player.
Yeah, and so you lost that strong senior class. We already talked about graduating. You lost, your 2 forwards and Russell and Becky, and then you graduated Vaughn as well. She's at Quincy. How do you look to kind of recreate that in a sense, or are you looking for something kind of different and like moving on and going to something completely different?
I think those leaders for us really opened up opportunities for our now senior class and our now junior class because they saw how dynamic they were. We had Liv Vaughn, who was kind of like our floor captain, like the one that really led by example, worked really hard. And then we had Becky and Russell, who came back from serious injuries, and they were kind of like the uplifting people that wanted us to keep fighting for those goals that we were going to reach. So I think with the players coming in, they wanted to fill those same positions because that's what made us successful last year, but then also allowed them to have kind of an opportunity to fill that void for us. So I think you're definitely going to see some of the same leadership style with this group, but I also think that they've got their own flair to them that makes them unique.
Yeah. And, we shouldn't discount, Vaughn graduated, but we still have those 3 strong guards in Wooden, Coster, and then Sell you could also put in that mix as well here that can shoot the 3 and handle the ball down the court.
Absolutely.
And so then as a coach, what do you look for, like, at the beginning of the season to measure success? Like, I know you guys had a pretty good win last night. Congratulations on that as well against Rochester.
Yes.
But how do you look for those signs of growth and success early before the Mid-Illini season kind of starts? How do you know, like, we're in the place we're supposed to be?
Yeah, so, I mean, the first 2 weeks of practice, it's a grind. We're in the gym every day with not really getting an opportunity to showcase it, so it does make it difficult to see exactly where we are because we're only going against each other. But I think after last night, we can say that we're really in a place right now where the little things are really all that's left to clean up. Because they've worked so hard in the postseason, I can see right now, every year that we've progressed with this group, we've started a little bit further progress-wise with the way that we're just running things. They're hungry for the next really good play, the next really good practice. They're not as satisfied of just like sitting back and being like, okay, how do we get practice over with? They want it to end on a good note. So I think that right now is a strong measure for our success moving forward, and hopefully leading us into these next couple games that can really set us up for conference starting in a couple weeks.
So what you're saying is Washington better look out for that December 4th date?
I hope so.
You guys
yes.
gave them a run for their money there last year. I remember. That was a pretty good one.
We did. Any Metamora versus Washington game is a big game here.
Yeah. So we talked about kind of measuring that success and getting over the hump. So we think it's going to start because last year, down the stretch, it really kind of started to click those last 3 or 4 conference games. Could we see it start maybe clicking earlier? Like it kind of like is like almost like a snap of a finger like this year? You think it's going to be a little bit more?
Yeah, I think this group is definitely capable of that. I think that they have a lot more people that want it, and like I said, like they're not okay with things not going well. They want it to go well. So the little things this year were probably much bigger situations that we had to work through last year. So we're hoping that with the right preparation that we've had, that we can see this group really gel and really get into the motion of things and be able to run things and do it without thinking about it. Let it just be second nature. That's kind of our goal.
And so we've already kind of talked about the middle Illini on the girls' side. What should we kind of expect from the middle Illini? Is it going to be a lot of this of the girls' middle Illini? Is it going to be a lot of the same as last year? Are there any big changes that fans should note?
I think that every year the middle Illini throws out crazy things, and any team can be successful at any point. I think our top runners in the conference are going to be similar, but I also think that there's changes that can open up some gaps where I feel like maybe last year we wouldn't have been able to jump in and have those opportunities, where I think this year we could. Washington obviously is returning majority of their team with adding a couple people at the freshman level for them, so they're going to be a really tough team for us this year. Morton just had a really good game last night with a big win, and it seems like some of their girls that were maybe second options or third options are now really dominating at their position, so they're going to be tough. And then Dunlap, they've got a new coach, kind of a new system about them with some of their transfers, so they can be competitive. I mean, really it's anybody's game, but we're hoping that we're going to be a competitive top 4 team in conference. That's our goal.
No doubt about it. I expect it too. I expect the top 4 finish from the Lady Redbirds this year. And it's no secret that you guys have a lot of those seniors and a lot of those freshmen still that have played and know what the middle Illini season's like. Kind of how is that play to an advantage down, like the middle Illini is a grueling season. You're playing 14 conference games? Like it's a lot.
Yes. I think that, like I said, that they just want to win. They, like we talked about Washington already, and they're already excited for that game. And it's like the constant reminder of, hey, we've got a couple other games before that we've got to focus on. But it's exciting to know that they're like, hey, like we're ready, like already right now. So by the time we get to Washington and Morton and the big games early on, I think that they're going to be ready to go. Another side note, do you wish you started with Washington, or would you rather them kind of later in the stretch, you kind of have a little bit more time to get the train rolling? The last couple years starting with them, sometimes I don't like the placement in our schedule. Do I think that this year we're a little bit more ready for that? Yes, absolutely. But if I could pick a perfect schedule, I would not put Washington as our first one. I would like us to ease into it a little bit. But like I said, because we're used to them being that first one, I think they're more prepared. They know it's coming. So.
Well, we'll be back after a short break to talk about some players and some things that fans should note as they watch from home.
Germantown Grill, where our staff loves the game as much as you do. Football, basketball, baseball, whatever your sport, we'll be cheering right along as we serve up your hometown favorites. We've got everything you need to celebrate the wins. Food and flavors to satisfy any craving. Plus, the best private gaming around. Powered by Gold Rush Gaming, the gold standard in video gaming. Only at Germantown Grill in Germantown Hills.
And welcome back here. Back to this sort of the deal with kind of losing some of your seniors last year. You didn't lose. It wasn't a huge senior class, but it was without a doubt a lot of leaders. Who has kind of stepped up to be that vocal leader, and as well, who has kind of been that lead by example kind of person that, like, what should fans expect, you know, like who's the captain on the court?
Yeah, so I would say the biggest leader that I feel like has been vocal and led by example and has done kind of all the big things has been Addie Wooden. Her leadership this year has really set us up for the success that we've already felt like we've been getting and then hopefully will get. Just the way that she talks to her teammates, the way she builds everybody up, and then her IQ is so strong. So being able for them to look up to her as that strong leader on the floor is really big. I think Kessel had a huge off season, which was so awesome to see her come in fall and have all of these strides and be able to show those off for her teammates. It showed that her hard work was successful. She's not the most vocal person. She's a little bit more quiet. Her examples, I think, are really good. And then we've had 2 juniors that have really stepped up in that leadership role as being vocal and kind of like the energy pieces, and that's Jalen Ledbetter and Abby Peterson. Now, we definitely have a lot of other people that I feel like bring in those spots, but those were the 4 captains for us this year that really filled the roles that I felt like were important for us to have success now and then through the end of the year.
Those 4, like the captains, like the name
Yes.
captains?
Yep. So we do it kind of I label them as the 3 C's for captains, and sometimes we open up a 4th spot if it's deemed necessary. So we've got our caring captain, our consistent captain, our committed captain, and then we added the 4th one, which was our culture captain this year. So those 4 have filled all of those roles for various reasons as to what gets our program to where we need them to be by the end of the year.
And are those voted on by players or the coaching staff or a combination?
So we just do our coaching staff. So based off of what we've seen in the off season into where we're starting season, we kind of assign those players, those positions based off of who we feel can get us there, and then also just how their teammates have aligned to those positions. And I feel like they've all really bought into that. And we've done it every year since I've been here, but then also just since I've been a head coach, I've felt like it means a lot more when your coaches assign you those positions, but also that when your team is already kind of bought into it. So for us, it's what's worked.
Yeah, and having 4 captain or 1 captain that's big, strong leader, let alone 4, it's a big deal when we've talked about a lot of the positives when you kind of face some of those challenges. Like not everything is going to go your way in anything in life. What do you see as like possibly a challenge that you've already seen kind of come up in like after this first game? What do you see kind of that the Lady Redbirds kind of need to work on?
I guess our quickness to want to score can be kind of a setback for us sometimes. We get so excited for what's going to happen next that we don't set the screen hard enough, or we don't set up our flare cut right away, or we get too excited and we don't make it all the way to kind of like our X spots on the floor. Like if we need to get above the volleyball line, we're making the pass like a little too soon because they're just so excited to get to the next play. So trying to speed up the position to get in transition down the floor, but then slowing it down to find the best look for us offensively is a little bit of a challenge for them right now. We're doing well at it. But again, just finding those right reads and being able to set the screens up so that they're effective and not just halfway there.
Yeah, 100%. Now, we mentioned that game that happened last night against Rochester and a win. Are there any nicks or anything? Like, are we all healthy still going into this middle line, or are there any injuries that we should report from that?
No, we are all good to go. I think everyone is ready for another game. Like I said, we tried to get, I know we kind of talked before this, but we tried to get everybody in last night, save our legs. I think we could have definitely put some more points on our end offensively. But like you're saying right now, like the health of our players for this week is really important. We've got Springfield tomorrow, and then we've got Galesburg and Chatham-Glenwood on Saturday. So it's a big week for us. So being able to get everybody in, give everybody a little bit of opportunity, but then also save our legs was our main priority, and I feel like we did that. So that's why maybe some of our categories for scoring or the people that you saw is a little bit more evened out last night, which I think is a positive. So it's
good to see. It's a quality team win there. Everybody gets it, and everybody kind of contributes to the win in that first one.
Yes.
It's nice to see.
Yes.
Now we've mentioned, it's no secret that the senior guard tandem, those two, Sell and Wooden, They're well experienced. And what is a group like that in the backcourt kind of bring to a team that already has dominant forward in Nina?
In the backcourt, you're meaning like when they're
Or the front court. I'm sorry. My apologies.
offensively,
Yeah,
like what
yeah.
they're going to do. So, I mean, because they've been playing with each other and they have each other's like reads down, like we know Kessasel's a great outside shooter. We know Addie knows how to get her the ball. They've worked with each other shooting wise. So, I mean, that dynamic of them just knowing each other and playing with each other well, and then you bring in Bailey as a secondary option, even if we got to get it to the post, I think is a huge asset for us. And I think this year you'll also see Kessa has expanded her game a little bit, and we'll hopefully not just see her at that three-point line, but getting some looks on the inside as well.
And I see those too. I get here kind of early on those late start Wednesdays. I see them every morning, all those Wednesdays in the gym shoot. I don't know if it's just the Wednesdays, but it's good to see them in the gym.
They want to be there.
Yeah. We've talked a lot about the starters. Now, are there any bench roles? Any bench roles, kind of a 6th, 7th man that people should be looking for here?
Yeah, so right now, those positions are very open just because, like we've talked about, our big group that we have of juniors are going to be role players. They've, in the last couple years, since they've been freshmen, have been the starters and the main players and the main minute scorers, all the things for the JV level. And now that they're on varsity, a lot of them are in the same position, so they're all kind of fighting for the same spots. And we've kind of left it open for them, like that 5 through 7 spot is whoever wants it any week. We don't really want to put an exact person on it right now because we feel like we have so many people that can fill it, especially depending on who we're playing. If we need to go big, if we need to go small, or if we need someone that is really been dominating in it. So for right now, we haven't really established who those key people are, but I would say expect our junior class to really be competing for that. Everybody really wants those spots. So.
Yeah. And last but not least, I kind of wanted to talk about, I heard today at school there was a new partnership here with the free throws. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so last night was the first night that we were able to do that. So Country Financial got together with McDonald's, and they are sponsoring Bricks for Burgers. So we actually talked to all the kids about it yesterday, and we're trying to kind of hype it up. And for the first time, at least that I've been coaching here, we had like a group of like 15 students that were all sitting in the student section, which was like really cool for us to have. But if the other team misses 2 consecutive free throws, then all of the students and the players and us coaches get a free burger from McDonald's. So they didn't really know if they were allowed to cheer or if they were allowed to call for Bricks for Burgers last night. But when they did miss the second free throw, you did hear kind of the echoes of like quiet, like, yeah, like burgers. So then Mr. Hart was able to hand out those coupons, and our players were really excited. It was like a nice little coupon for them. So every home game, so after last night, now there's 25 more opportunities for our home games and the boys for any student to win a free burger from McDonald's. So it's been already a huge hit for us, and we're excited to see at girls games and boys games how many more free burgers we can get.
That's fun. That's fun.
Yes.
Well, that just about wraps it up. Thank you, Coach Hurst,
Yes,
for
thank you so much.
being part of the first ever Coach Hurst Show and the girls basketball show. I would like to thank everybody for tuning in, and good night.